Recently, we posted a video on a hitter that was called out twice for throwing his bat. Today, we will see this during the Little League World Series and how Little League wants umpires to handle it, as well as how we can help players stop throwing the bat. A few years back, we had a player who, for whatever reason, started throwing his bat after a fair hit, and he threw it hard back to the fence each time. He never threw it on a foul ball or a swing and miss, just when the ball was clearly a good hit. It was during the first tournament of the season, and just telling him to stop doing it wasn't working. I needed to help him. But first, I had to make sure he felt the pain personally.
Hey, what'd you do with your bat that time?
Darn it.
So, between innings, I asked the umpire to please call him out the next time he throws the bat. And sure enough, it happened. And the player was called out, and he was distraught. He was very motivated to fix the issue now, as he saw a future of never getting on base again if he didn't. More on this situation and how I helped him stop throwing the bat coming up in a little bit. This issue is a serious one. Some comments in our last video saw people who apparently fail to understand why we can't allow this type of behavior to continue. Even if it seems like it isn't that bad every time, because the next time could be, and now we have a potential liability issue for not addressing it when we should have. Not a single other player out of the 20 at this game threw or dropped their bat onto the catcher. Not one. So just because one time it, quote, wasn't that bad, unquote, doesn't mean it isn't enforced, especially after a warning was issued. Following that logic, what we're saying is that you can hit the catcher with your bat, but only if it isn't hard. So now we are having to judge what is too hard or not. No, you as a hitter are responsible to control your bat through the swing and to the point of release, just like 99% of hitters do at every at-bat. During the Little League World Series regional game in 2019 in the Northeast, there was a player that threw his bat and actually hit the catcher twice. The first time you can hardly see it because the people in the booth didn't know what happened, so we don't see a replay. But the team and the coaches knew, and I guarantee you the parent of the catcher knew it. The next time the player came to the plate, and this is what happened.
Comfortable on the mound. Just taking it, shaking off. It's just wonderful to watch.
Cash down the right field line, and that one is going to get out of play. Finally, some timely hitting. They've had base runners on all afternoon as they're going to look at Primatis, who may have gotten hit with the bat.
Yeah,
the catcher.
I think on the follow through from Cash, I might have hit him.
It's not only that the catcher was hurt, but that this was the second time by the same batter. The umpire either failed to see it the first time, or, more likely, failed to follow the Little League suggested response. While it is not covered in the rule book for Little League, they have released a suggested means of dealing with this. For an all-star game like this one, the coach should have been warned after the first instance. The second time the same player throws the bat, that player will not be allowed to come to bat again in that game. They can still play defense, but they must be benched from the lineup. For the regular season, when the Rocket lineup is used, every player on the team bats, then they would just skip over the batter removed. Again, the player can play defense, just not hit. And there is never an automatic out in Little League, no matter the reason the player left or can't hit. Even an ejection does not create an automatic out in Little League. One more thing. A player that lets the bat slip one time, this is typically ignored. We don't like it, but it is not a voluntary release, and even professional hitters lose bats on swings. Back to our player who was desperate to stop throwing his bat. After the game, I set up an early pregame lesson with him to do before the rest of the team was scheduled to arrive. All I did was throw him batting practice, and every time he hit the ball fair, he was to carry his bat when he ran. I made him run about 20 feet with the bat. He did this about 20 times. Then I made him take 2 steps while running before he dropped his bat. Did that a few times and then 1 step and drop. The principle behind the drill is simple. He didn't throw his bat intentionally. It was muscle memory. He wasn't even aware he was doing it.
Hey, what'd you do with your bat that time?
Darn it.
So to fix it, we just needed to replace that muscle memory with a better one. Since this wasn't a problem for a long period of time, it wasn't going to take long to fix. During that next game, when he came up, this is what happened. He didn't throw the bat, just set it down. And he has never, to my knowledge, done it again. Finally, while we were on the topic of batters controlling their bats, a follow-through swing that hits the catcher while the batter still maintains control is typically nothing, unless it interferes with the catcher making a play. This clip resulted in a nothing call. A pre-pitch interference is also nothing, but should result in the umpire calling time and resetting. This umpire should have called time and not awarded the offense with a balk. This type of interference is quite rare.